pumpkin muffins, and I'm adding chocolate chips to them. First, we're going to take a standard muffin tin and line it. I ran out of muffin liners, so I just have some parchment that will make do. So I'm gonna set this aside and preheat our oven to 375 degrees. In a medium bowl, we're going to add 1 3/4 of a cup of flour. We're gonna spoon it into our measuring cup, making a mess along the way, because that's the reality of baking. 1 cup of white sugar. Mine looks tan because it's raw cane sugar. 1/2 cup of brown sugar, and my recipe, which I am borrowing from the Lovely Little Kitchen, specifies dark brown sugar, but you'll be fine if you use light brown. Packed. 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon of salt. For the spices, we need 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. This recipe calls for 1/4 teaspoon of ground cloves, which I do not have, so you could use allspice. I'm not the biggest fan of allspice, so I'm going to use ginger, even though I have allspice. And then 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. Whisk that all together. I'm just using a spoon. Break up your brown sugar and get all of our spices mixed in, evenly distributed into our flour. Okay, set that aside. In a large bowl, I'm gonna add 2 eggs, a 1/2 cup of coconut oil melted, and I'm using light olive oil. You can use canola or vegetable oil in its place. I suppose you could use melted butter. That might give you a little bit of a crispness on the outside of your muffins. A teaspoon of vanilla extract, and a whole can of pumpkin puree. Not pumpkin pie filling, pumpkin puree. And I specifically was looking for a recipe that called for the entire can, because some recipes call for 1 cup, and then I'm like, well, now I have to find something else to make with the rest of this pumpkin. And I mean, you can always find something, but I usually put it in the fridge, forget about it, and it gets moldy, and that's wasteful. Whisk this all together. So once it's all mixed in, it says pour the wet ingredients into the dry ingredients. Okay, so we should have done the flour in a large bowl, the wet stuff in a medium bowl, but you know what? It's fine. Do not overmix this. We want nice, fluffy, soft pumpkin muffins, and when you overstir, you start to create some gluten, which makes them tougher and chewier once they bake. So just scrape around your edges, scrape down to the bottom, get the flour mixed in, and once you have, you can stop stirring. Let's get our muffin tin. And I like to use my 1/4 cup measuring spoon to evenly distribute the batter. Oh, one last thing, almost forgot. 1/2 cup of chocolate chips, give or take. You don't have to add these are not in the original recipe, but I love chocolate and pumpkin muffins, pumpkin cookies. So just fold those in. Then, once you've done this, these are gonna bake for 20 to 22 minutes. I did read some comments that said, one said that theirs took 8 minutes longer to bake. So we're gonna test these with either a toothpick, or I'll probably use a butter knife. So I think a 1/3 cup scoop would work more equally, because I'm using really heaping 1/4 cups. All right, 20 to 22 minutes. 20 minutes. I want to get one of the biggest ones. Definitely not done. Definitely not done. And that's more than 2 minutes worth of bacon, so 3. 23 minutes in. I have my doubts already. So that was 23 total. I'm gonna put them in for 3 more minutes. 26 minutes. This one doesn't even look cooked. Almost there. I'm gonna do 2 minutes. 28 total minutes. Hey, there we go. There's a teeny tiny bit of wet looking batter on my knife. I'm not worried about it. These are still hot inside. They might continue to cook just the tiniest little bit. Just the tiniest little bit, so I'm not worried about that tiny little bit of wet batter. I'm gonna let these cool for 5 minutes, and then I'll take them out and put them on a cooling rack. All right. The perk of the parchment is they're easy to pick up. Minutes might have been better for these ones that I didn't have parchment with. They might be a little too hot for your fingers, but they're sturdy enough at least now that I'm not tearing the muffin top off. So just be careful of that. If they're too hot or they're too fragile, give them some time. So I'm gonna let these sit for about 15 minutes before I try them. They're still gonna be warm, but the flavor changes once they come down from steaming hot. Let's try a muffin. Beautiful. Look at that. Moist, not too sweet, even with the chocolate chips. Perfectly spiced. Some people like these really spicy. This one's not really spicy, but it's not underspiced. Oh yeah, that's good. Dessert, snack, breakfast, would recommend for all occasions. I will link the original recipe down below along with the ingredients and instructions. If you guys would make these, give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe for more content, and if you just can't get enough of pumpkin chocolate chip desserts, click here on screen for the most delicious pumpkin chocolate chip cookies. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys there.